All right. Hey, happy new year. I hope that your 2020 is off to a great start. I am Nathan Garcia, and I'm so happy to be with you here this morning in order to share a little bit of information with you and help you start your 2020 on a high note. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Nathan Garcia. I am a certified financial planner and retirement planning specialist, and I help people with getting a grip on their finances so that they have more clarity, better direction, and more confidence that allows them to enjoy their retirement. So I'm doing this video for you to help you start your new year off in the right direction by building wealth in 2020. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to share that with you with just 3 simple steps in this video. But I wanted to go ahead and let you know that nothing in this video is financial advice for you. I have to tell you that, even though it might sound a little silly. Why would somebody who takes a video from YouTube and acts on that, why would they consider that financial advice? I don't know. But because I'm registered with the federal government as an investment advisor, and because I'm a certified financial planner, I don't want you to think that this is financial advice for you, right? Because I can't give you financial advice without knowing a little bit more about your situation. So with that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about how to build wealth in 2020. And it's actually probably a little bit easier than what you have been made to believe. You know, last year, the Dow Jones Industrial Average ended up about 22%. Okay, we had the S&P 500 up about 28%. So the best year for that index since 2013. Those are some big changes, right? To be up almost 30% in a year is a good move, especially if you're getting ready for retirement. But you might be looking at that run up and say, hey, when's the next pullback in the market? Am I positioned so that I'm not going to sacrifice my lifestyle if the market goes down 30 or 40%? So in this video, we're going to discuss how you can build wealth in 2020. And the first thing that you need to do is to get organized, right? Everybody wants to start off the new year with clarity, with focus, with better direction. And it's just like taking care of your home. You want to make sure that you're organized and you know where everything is. And I know that might sound pretty silly as a starting point to some people, but I can tell you, having worked with hundreds of families over the past 12 years, almost 13 years now, what I spend a lot of time on is getting people organized with understanding where all their assets are, what accounts are owned by who, what's in those accounts, what happens to those accounts if somebody were to pass away. This is one of the easiest ways that you can feel more in control about your finances is by simply getting organized and being able to quickly find any information that you need. So specifically what we're looking at is getting a copy of your assets. These would include any of your 401k, your IRA, or your in brokerage accounts, any investments that you may have. We want a recent statement from those that lists who owns them, what's owned, who is going to inherit those assets if anything happens. The next thing that you want to do is list all of your debt. And a lot of people may have goals of paying off their debt in 2020 or reducing the amount of debt that they have. Well, the first thing that you have to do is get organized, right? And so you want to get a list of all of your debts that you owe, who they're owed to, what the interest rate is, what the minimum payment is, and here's the one that I don't hear enough: when you're going to pay it off, right? We want to know what is your target payoff date on that debt, right? Let's at least have a light at the end of the tunnel so that I can have a little bit more confidence that I'm going in the right direction. And so having that payoff date is a great starting point there. And then, as I mentioned, you want to list your monthly payments. So getting organized, it can really have a great impact on you, and it can help you reduce some clutter, and more importantly, be prepared for more advanced planning, like I'm going to share with you here in a minute. So get organized. The next thing that you want to do is take a stance, take a position, take account of where your position is, of where you stand right now. And you do that by using a few different professional documents. Can you tell I've been on vacation? Just stuttering here. So the way that you get better understanding of where you stand is by looking at your net worth statement. This is going to tell you how much you're actually worth, and it's going to list all of your assets in one column, all of your liabilities in the next, and then the difference between those, and you're going to have that in your net worth statement. This is great for anyone to just have a snapshot of where their assets are and what their financial standing is. It sums up how much am I worth. So it's a great document to use with your family to get everybody on the same page. It's also a great document to have to reference at the beginning of a year to say, am I making progress? Am I becoming more valuable or less valuable? Your net worth statement will help you answer that. The next document that you want to have is your cash flow statement. So your cash flow statement is going to tell you what went on, where money came in from and where it went out to over a certain period of time. In most instances, it's over 12 months. So you want to be able to look at your cash flow and say, here's where money is coming in, here's where it went out, here's what my major expenses were, what have you. And that'll be very helpful for you for understanding if you have an opportunity to pay down debt or you need to save a little bit more for retirement. Well, you can look at your cash flow statement and say, maybe we spent $30,000 or $40,000 just eating out and traveling last year. Maybe there's room for improvement there, right? Maybe we don't need to eat out every night. Maybe we can actually make a couple meals. There might be some room for improvement there, but you'll only be able to identify that with your cash flow statement. So your net worth statement is going to share with you where you stand. It's going to give you a snapshot of what your assets and your liabilities are. And then the cash flow statement is actually going to share with you, how did you get there? How did you get these assets? The final thing that I like to reference when I'm helping some family plan for their retirement is what their income report looks like. And their income report is a breakdown of all income that's coming into the household. And it's a little bit more granular than your cash flow statement because we're going to be able to identify your income sources. But if you're getting ready for retirement, you need to make sure that the savings that you have, your investments, are going to be sufficient to replace your income and maintain your lifestyle in retirement, right? In order to do that, you have to look at how much income you're actually living on. And so looking at your income report, of course, we're going to look at your salary, your W-2 income, but then I also want to look at your investment income and see how much are you getting in dividends, how much are you getting in capital gains, are you getting any interest payments anymore, where is your income coming from your investments, and how much? We can also break down a little bit more and say, well, what does retirement look like for me from an income standpoint? Maybe I'll have Social Security benefits. Maybe I'll have a pension. Maybe there's other income streams payable to me because I'm going to sell my business before I retire. Those might be a few different areas that you look at, but looking at these three documents will start to give you the confidence that you at least know where you stand. And that's so important before you start taking action, right? Oftentimes I speak with folks and they say, I'm just completely overwhelmed by finances. I don't like finance in general. It's too complicated to me. I don't like math. But then to complicate things, we're looking at planning out the next 30 years of your life. And oftentimes when we're building your retirement plan, it's the first time you've ever built a 30-year plan like that. But that is a different experience for many people. And oftentimes it causes anxiety, it causes overwhelm, and people just tend to shut down as a result of that. And so if you can take the steps to build that net worth statement, to update your cash flow statement, to update your income statement, now what you're going to see, odds are, is you're going to feel more confident just as a result of that. Because simply put, what you've done is now you've put yourself in a position of power, right? Not only do I know where all my assets and my liabilities are, but now I know how everything was composed, right? I know what the big picture looks like. And that can be very, very helpful for you with having confidence that you can actually retire. So the final thing that you want to do, the final step to build wealth in 2020 is to get some help. And it's easier than ever to get help, right? But once you've identified some areas where you may need some assistance by looking at your net worth statement, by looking at your cash flow statement and your income report, you might find that, hey, is it possible to pay down some debt? I don't know. Maybe you look at your cash flow statement and say, wow, a lot of money went to taxes last year. How do we reduce that? You might look at your income report and say, wow, only 10% of my household income is coming from my investments, but I want to retire next year? Maybe we need to do something about that. By getting organized, you're going to understand the direction that you need to take and where you need to improve. And getting professional help can be a huge it can speed up that process for you. More importantly, it gives you assurance that you're doing it the right way. So what you can do is, obviously, you can find some great books out there. I love Tony Robbins' book, Money, Master the Game. I love Larry Swedrow's book. He's got a bunch of them. He's a certified financial planner, I believe, a great financial advisor. He's got some great information out there. I'd recommend his books. But there's no shortage of books that are out there. Now, you can also go through some different courses that'll help you out. I know that a lot of financial advisors are getting their marketing invitations out so that they can invite you to their workshops at the end of January, early February. So there's no shortage of being able to get into a classroom with professionals and understand from the guys that are in the trenches, that are building financial plans every day, what are they doing for strategy and for different tactics in order to make their clients successful. I think that's a great opportunity for you. And then the final thing would be to engage somebody for professional advice. Now, obviously, a guy who sells financial advice for a living, it probably doesn't come as a shock that I'm telling you to do that, but I think that it's more important than ever to speak with a professional and to get some financial advice because today we have to deal with so many different areas for building a retirement plan, right? We have to look at your income, your investments, your health care and your insurance. I got to look at your estate plan, and then we want to look at your Social Security filing decision. So we have these different areas that need to be accounted for, and oftentimes it's just unlikely that you know everything, that you're able to find all of the strategies that work best by going through YouTube and online and what have you. So it's good when you pay somebody, you can actually get some great advice, and more importantly, they can probably do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, and that can just make your life a lot easier and give you time to focus on the things that you want to focus on. Now, I told you earlier that it's more important than ever to get professional advice, not just because of how complicated things are, but you may be aware that on December 20th last year, just a few weeks ago, Congress, the Senate, passed the Secure Act. And the Secure Act is an update on the retirement rules as it relates to your ability to contribute to an IRA, an individual retirement account. It's an update on how you're required to take money out of your IRA. And they also updated how money can be passed on after you die. And so now more than ever, you have to go back and look at how your retirement income is going to be composed, where your income's coming from, and what the tax impact of that income is going to be. And therefore, that should also drive your investment decisions as well. So because of the Secure Act of 2019, everybody who had an existing financial plan needs to have an update as soon as possible. The priority really goes to folks who are either taking out required minimum distributions, who started taking them out last year, or are scheduled to take them out this year. It's also going to be imperative for anyone who inherited an IRA last year to update their financial plan, because the rules have changed on that as well, and there might be some decisions there that you could take. So you want to consult with a professional there. But simply put, the entire planning process, some of the implications of planning have really changed as a result of the Secure Act of 2019. And so you want to be current with that, or you want to work with somebody who understands what those rules are and how they impact your financial plan. So what I've done is I put together a presentation for you that you can join me live next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be doing a presentation all about the Secure Act, where I'm going to walk you through what the Secure Act is, how it changed retirement planning, and some different considerations that you want to have. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and I hope that your new year is off to a great start. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and give me some encouragement here and give me a thumbs up. If you're getting ready to retire and you want more information like this, then you want to go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell, and make sure that you're updated when notified whenever I have new videos coming out. But go ahead and visit GarciaSecureAct.com to register for the upcoming training I'm doing on Thursday, January 9th at 7 p.m. And when you do, you'll be able to send me some questions that you might have, and I look forward to seeing you there. So thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.